Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the fifth update in my experience with being sick with possible coronavirus symptoms. As a reminder, I am not tested or confirmed to have this. I just have every single symptom that they say is associated with this. So you may notice that at this very moment, I am breathing a lot easier than I was the last few days. I'm going to go into why that is. But let me start off by saying that I'm making these videos for the people out there who may be dealing with this and don't know where to turn and don't know what to expect. I'm making this video for people that are dealing with it with their friends and family and watching them go through the same thing so that you know what to expect and what things may work, what may not work. Because I think at this point, we all have to rely on each other. So you guys have done an amazing job with sharing these videos. I have been getting messages from people out there who are dealing with the same thing, which is amazing. You guys, I think, are saving lives because there are other people who say I'm staying in now. I'm watching those comments. Unfortunately, there are some people who started watching these videos that are now exhibiting symptoms that they're seeing in these videos and are able to recognize that they may be in trouble or, maybe dealing with the same thing. So gives them a heads up and gives them the ability to go ahead and get tested. If you feel like you are going through some of the things that I'm saying, I encourage you to go down to your local ER or call your primary care provider because there may be testing in your area that's more readily available than what's over in my area. All right. So I'm going to update you real quick on what happened after the video last night that I posted. So again, consistent with what it's been the last 4 or 5 days, the nights get pretty bad. After I hung up last night after I stopped making the video last night, I started to get a headache again. This is probably pretty close to 8 o'clock, not right after the video was made. Right about 8 o'clock, I started to get a headache. I did take a nap before that and woke up. The headache was there. And my chest right here had extreme tightening in the chest. So it almost feels like someone is stepping on your chest, that kind of pressure. It was getting really hard to breathe. Started to go, and my fever was going up. I did start to feel like, oh, this is probably it. I need to get to the hospital. I contacted my primary care physician, and like I said, we're working very closely to deal with this thing, me and her. So I encourage you to get in touch with your primary care physician. If you don't have a primary care physician, then you should be going down to the hospital. But if your primary care physician isn't willing to be in touch with you while you're going through this, you probably need to find a new one. So, like I said, mine is great. She said she just decided to send over an inhaler to my local pharmacy. Unfortunately, my pharmacy was closed at that time, and decided to go to a couple other home remedies that I had seen that you guys have been sending me. So I leaned over the pot of steam with orange peels and salt in it. It doesn't feel very good when you're inhaling it. All right, it doesn't feel very good at all. It feels like you're suffocating. So instead, I just sniffed it, which does do something for your post-nasal drip in your nasal cavity, right to down about here. All right, because I mean, just inhaling is too much for me. So I did that. After doing that, my son did a great job of trying to take care of his dad. He made homemade chicken noodle soup, I think a recipe that he got from his grandma that he was on the phone with. And I tried that hot, okay? If you're dealing with this, you need to eat hot fluids. I'm talking about hot to the point where it burns your tongue. Not extremely, but it's got to be uncomfortable. And I tried that last night, and it opened up from here right down to here. And that's pretty much where the tightness happens for me, is right here in the upper part of my body. And I don't know what's there, and I don't know why it worked. I can only tell you that after doing the steam, taking that hot fluid in, and then going and jumping in a hot steaming shower, which was another suggestion that you guys have given me. I got out the shower and I felt much, much better. Okay. So I have been trying to deal with this with home remedies and natural products because we were on the forefront of what this is. We're not in the middle. We're not at the end where we understand what works. We understand that NSAIDs don't work because of trial and error and people who have taken those and ended up in the hospital and getting worse. So there's no telling what any of these medications are going to do for whatever this is. So I have been doing my best not to use those. Okay. But last night got to the point where that's come to an end. It's a pretty bad night. So I switched over to the medications. All right. I did make a list. I wanted to give a list to you guys of kind of the symptoms as my symptoms progressed, and a list of things that worked and didn't work. So bear with me because I see a lot of people starting to reach out, and I want to be as helpful as I can by sharing my list. So this is the order that my symptoms appeared. And then I'm going to give you a list of what worked for those. So at first I had a runny nose, body ache, headache, had shortness of breath. After the shortness of breath came the coughing. With the coughing came the pain in the chest, and it felt like I had a marble stuck right here, right where your throat, right in the soft part of your throat. Felt like I had a marble stuck in there, right? Then I started coughing, and the burning started to right about here. So pay attention to that. I woke up with joint aches, okay? They're different than body aches. I had joint aches. So my shoulder joints hurt. Right here hurt, you know, pain in the joints. Sore throat. It did feel, and it wasn't a slight sore throat. At night only, though. Only at night. It felt like somebody was it's like fire in the back of your throat. Only happens at night. Then I started experiencing fatigue, and then the burning in the chest came. And the burning in the chest is pretty much here and expands out here. I also have pain and burning here. And again, it's internal. So most of my pain in the chest happens only over here. If you notice since the beginning of my videos, I've been saying that. The pain is here for me and right here. But it's all internal. But the burning sensation has begun to spread. And I can feel it internally right in here, right here. And pretty much here are the worst spots that I have. But I definitely start to feel burning throughout my lungs. So that's during the day, and I get headaches again. At night, usually from about 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I don't know what happens. I don't know if it's the lunar cycle. I don't know what it is, but the tightening in the chest starts to increase right here. And then the increased shortness of breath happens. Start to develop a headache right here that just starts to creep up, and it's pretty bad. Fever will start to inch up right around that time. It starts at 98.6, 98.9, 99 degrees. And the worst one I had was 101 degrees. So it always backs down from there. You do get lightheaded because of the shortness of breath. My heart rate goes up. And this is where it really gets, this is where you feel like, you know, okay, what's happening? Because when all this stuff starts to happen and you get increased shortness of breath and your heart rate goes up, your oxygen levels go down, it's just not a good feeling. So all that happens at night, the heart rate increases and the post-nasal drip begins. So this is what's worked for me from a natural perspective. You guys have suggested orange sea salt and water, boil it, put your face over it. I put a towel over my head and take in the steam. It doesn't help for me to inhale it through my mouth. It feels miserable and it makes me panic. So I inhale it instead. That's helped with my sore throat, with my runny nose. It helps somewhat with the chest pain, kind of like down to here, right in this upper part. And the tightening of the chest that happens anywhere in this area right here. All right, so it does alleviate it some. So that's how the steam works. I tried this Vicks Vapor Rub last night as I was going into panic mode. Don't bother. It doesn't do anything. Orange juice. Orange juice, if you take it during the day continuously, does give you more strength. So that vitamin C that everybody's talking about, it does make you feel like you have more energy and more strength. Okay, so I don't knock that. We went on Amazon and eBay and looked for vitamin C tablets, and the deliveries are out in the middle of April. So everybody's buying them up, and there's nothing on the shelves at our local stores. So for now, we're stuck with the vitamin C that's coming from the orange juice. And I will say that it does give you more energy, which is probably something you should try during the day to give you more strength at night. Sleeping has helped me in the beginning. At this phase, as of yesterday and maybe the day before, it's actually a little scary to go to sleep. I just woke up a couple hours ago when I was short of breath and kind of gasping for air. The pain in my chest, if I sleep on my chest gets tight in the front. If I sleep on the back, my chest gets tight, a little tighter in the back. So I slept on my chest. That stopped working. I slept elevated last night at 45 degrees, and I took antihistamines to try to stop the postnasal drip, and it worked out pretty well. So you're going to have to adjust how you sleep. Hot liquids to the point, again, where it's burning your mouth and burning your esophagus. Don't burn your taste buds off, but from what I hear, you're not going to be tasting anything anyway if you have this. So take it as hot as you can take it. It helps. It really, truly helps. All right. The tightening of the chest, the postnasal, it helps. So take those hot liquids. You'll get immediate relief from some of these symptoms. So the medication that I had to take last night, I did end up, again, it got so bad that I had to go to an inhaler. So, well, that was not last night. That was today. But today, I did have to go to the inhaler. This is albuterol. The albuterol makes breathing a lot easier. It does alleviate tightening in the chest after about a half an hour to an hour. All right, but as you notice, this has worked wonders for my breathing. It really has. It will increase the burning sensation in your chest, though. So that's not going to go away. It'll probably get worse. I feel burning right now in my chest. I have a headache right now, so it's not going to get rid of everything, but it's going to make your breathing a lot easier. If you have to deal with this, make sure you're contacting your primary care physician and asking them for an albuterol inhaler, because the shortness of breath is, I don't know if it's the worst thing of all this, but it definitely is not very good. And promethazine has taken away some of my nausea, the coughing, which increases in the morning and at night. The coughing increases in the morning and at night. So that's what's worked for me. Those are the medications that have worked for me. Understand that this thing is so strange that your symptoms don't stay the same. They're all over the place. It's very, very strange. You don't know what symptom you're going to have from 1 minute to the next. So it's a very strange virus. But if I have not given you anything, if you're dealing with this or somebody that's dealing with it, find an albuterol inhaler and alleviate that shortness of breath, because nobody likes to feel like they're slowly suffocating. All right. I heard some of you say that you have a nebulizer out there. Please be careful when you're dealing with that, because some studies are showing that it may aerosol the virus into the air. So just be careful if you're doing that. If it makes you feel better, fantastic. And if you're able to not spread it and you have a nebulizer, use it. So that's where I'm at today. Hopefully this helps somebody that's dealing with this, or you got family or friends that are dealing with this and you can share it. I appreciate it. We have reached out and touched people. I have emails and messages coming from all over the United States and other countries of other people who are dealing with this. So thank you for saving somebody's life. I've heard people say that I'm staying inside now. So if you shared this video, then you have saved somebody's life. And I appreciate that. So thank you for praying for me. I see all the prayers that are coming in, all the comments that are coming in. And right now, as of this moment, I am breathing a lot easier than I was 4 or 5 days ago, and even 2 days ago. So thank you for everything that you're doing. I appreciate it, and I will keep you updated. Again, this is day 8. This is the day that I knew I was in trouble. And if you're dealing with this, you know, they say 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, and let's just keep pushing through it. You can see the shortness of breath is gone. I feel absolutely horrible otherwise. But one thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. Get up, stay mobile, stay walking around. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for caring enough to tell people to stay inside and to stay away from this virus as to not spread it. I will keep you guys updated as things progress. As always, if I have to go to the hospital, I will send a short message. And otherwise, I will update you guys tomorrow. Thank you.